So what's BBIC? The Basic and Basic International Conference process is an instrument for the stability and security of the MENA region, Middle Eastern countries and North Africa, a technical and financial assistance for our people in our region, in the MENA region, for promoting the application of the advances in life sciences and related technologies appropriate to the needs of each country, with particular attention to the safety and security. So we focus mainly on life sciences, on our region, and we support the region with technical and financial support, and we hope to develop an action plan for cooperative action plan. How can we achieve this? We achieve this first of all, we identify the needs and priority for each country, the difficulties for each country, and we suggest a solution, remedies, measures to solve these problems. And also we have to extend our assistance, biosafety and biosecurity, start with each country and then for the whole MENA region. Also we assess possible synergies with other activities, with other initiatives, with other networks in our region and beyond our region. Also we see the effectiveness of regulatory framework, the regulation, the laws in our MENA region, and propose remedial measures in accordance with the international best practices standards. And also the final thing we do is to assess the feasibility and methodology for establishing and developing a regional biosafety and biosecurity training center in our region. Our process is open to other networks and initiatives in the region. For example, MISID, the Middle East Consortium for Infectious Disease Surveillance. This consortium is a collaborative effort between Jordan, Palestine, and Israel in all issues related to public health and disease surveillance. Also, in this steering committee, we have members represented from international and national institutions. We have representatives from WHO, from OIE, World Organization for Animal Health, from Al-Hassan City in Jordan, from Abu Dhabi Environmental Agency in the United Arab Emirates, also from CDC in America, from Health Production Agency in UK, and also from IFBA, International Federation of Biosafety Association. Also, we said that there will be a BBIC website to enhance network between all the participants in the region and outside the region. Also, we encourage the development of national biosafety associations. We have 2 in Morocco, we have 1 in Pakistan, and more to come in our region. Also, we deliver expertise specialists in our region, mainly focusing on biosafety and biosecurity training, focusing on lab diagnostics, focusing on infectious disease surveillance, where it's most urgently needed in our region. And we have one important, issue here that this process is, the ownership of this process is from the region. So we hope to encourage activities for funding support from our region and not depending on the support and fund from outside our region. We are now at the beginning, at this moment, we are developing a national biosafety and biosecurity strategy in Lebanon. And the phase 1 of this project has already accomplished. This project is not about building new facilities or buying new equipment, it's about enhancing all the resources already in Lebanon for creating policy and strategy for enhancing the awareness in issues related to both biosafety and biosecurity. We are now in the process of establishing the 2 regional centers, one in Morocco and another one in Jordan. These 2 regional centers will help the governments in surveillance regarding biosafety and biosecurity. The centers will combine on-site and also district training theory and practice. Also, they will be complementary to each other. At the same time, every center will be a specialized center. The Moroccan one will be established within the Regional Observatory for Environment and Sustainable Development in Tangier, and it will focus on all the risk mitigation spectrum, which was issued and adopted by the BBIC Steering Committee. However, the one in Jordan will focus on environmental surveillance, on water, on air quality, on disease, and it will combine and promote a culture of awareness, shared sense of responsibility, ethics, and promote
scientists do, as scientists, have responsibilities, including social responsibilities. The basis is actually very simple. It is in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which in Article 27 states that all human beings have the right to benefit from scientific progress. The duties that scientists have are correlative of that human right. That is the strongest, most consensual and simplest basis on which to establish that scientists do have social responsibilities. In order for each human being to enjoy that human right, which admittedly is not the best developed or the most clearly institutionalized human right, it is necessary that scientists and the institutions of science take on certain responsibilities and accept certain duties. One can justify conceptually the emphasis in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights on the right to benefit from scientific progress by reference to two fairly simple and conceptual ideas. The first, that science aims at universality. When something is valid, scientifically, it is valid independently of the person who happened to discover it, and therefore is in principle the common property of humankind as a whole. The second point is slightly more controversial, since the universality of science in the sense of its detachment from particular individuals doesn't automatically translate into the universalism of science in the sense of the abstract and decontextualized nature of its truths, something that in contemporary philosophy is often challenged. But it's still a reasonable assumption. The second idea is the idea of integrity, which is an internal value within science that also has external implications. A combination of universality and integrity, therefore, underpins the principle in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that scientists do have social responsibilities. But what are they? The first is the requirement on scientists in general not to do harm. This is the basis of the Hippocratic Oath for medical doctors, and it applies by extension very naturally to scientists as a whole. Secondly, the requirement to aim at social benefit. Science is naturally oriented towards the discovery of things of universal value. This isn't an imposition on science, it's a reflection of what science is and what science is for. And thirdly, to ensure access to scientific results and to the benefits of technology. This is something that is written into the history of science, even though there have been periods and contexts within which the free circulation of scientific results has been impeded, and it has a fairly straightforward application. What scientists need to be responsible for is not just what they do, but what might happen as a consequence of what they do. And the fact that responsibility bears on what might happen raises serious issues of implementation, serious issues also of fairness with regard to the burden that responsibility places on scientists. If you are told that you will be held responsible for the future, currently unidentified malicious use of your research results by an unidentified third party of which you have no knowledge, then what are you actually being held responsible for? Anything anyone might do with the results of your research? What are the boundaries of your responsibility for? The very diffuse and distended nature of these causal connections makes it difficult to operationalize responsibility at the level of the individual scientist. Let me mention two other things. The first is the combination of commercial and military pressures on contemporary research that create specific challenges within the context of the three general objectives that we can assign to science in light of the human rights framework, because they tend to distort the agenda not towards human benefit but towards something else, and they tend to restrict access to the results of research. And then two words on what UNESCO does in this area, which is mainly three things. First, provide a forum for discussion of the issues. Secondly, provide an intergovernmental setting within which, if our member states wish, they can adopt legal statements of ethical principles relating to science, and they have done so in a number of areas. And third, once one has that kind of legal framework, provide support to our member states in designing the national policies, regulatory, legislative, aspirational, educational, that will ensure what really matters, embedding concerns for the social responsibility of scientists within the ordinary routine practice of scientific institutions.